In this video, I'm sharing my tips and tricks for using a flat foundation brush to apply foundation. Hey guys, what's up? It's Shannon. Welcome back to my channel. So a few weeks ago, I released a video. In that video, I talked about my favorite flat foundation brushes. I wanted to show you guys how I use them, as well as share with you one of my favorite foundations. If you're new to my channel, what's up? That was a weird intro. Every Wednesday, I post a new makeup or skincare video, all from my experiences as a working makeup artist. So if you enjoy this video, then definitely consider subscribing and hanging out more. All right guys, let's get into it. So the foundation that we're gonna use is from Face Atelier. This is one of my hands down favorite liquid foundations to use. I really like it for all skin types. It glides over the skin, it wears beautifully, and it holds all day. So just a little quick side note, you wanna make sure that your skin is hydrated and prepped. You can start your foundation application with a spray, either a setting spray or a hydration spray. That will allow the liquid foundation to glide on really nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. I'm just gonna spray that on my skin. Whew, I always forget that has such a heavy squirt. I also really like the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. I'm gonna squirt a little bit on the back of my hand. Obviously, if I was working on a client, I would use a palette. So I think the biggest mistake that I see with flat foundation brushes is not loading the brush correctly. And I'll show you here too. So you can see that I'm not dipping it straight into the heart, the meat of the foundation squirt. I'm really kind of blending it out on the side and picking up a good amount of product, but not too much that the brush is not going to be useful, because you still want those bristles to blend the product for you. So you can take a look and see, and then depending on what kind of coverage you're looking for will determine where I'm going to start the foundation. So for on me, the center of my face is where I like to focus my liquid foundation. So I'm just going to go ahead and start by my nose, and I'm just going to sweep it back and forth to see what kind of coverage I get with this first layer. You can always go back and build more. And notice that I'm really using the brush until it runs out of product. I don't want to overload and just back a bunch of product into the bristles. I really want to utilize what I put on it first. So even on the outskirts of my face where I don't need as much coverage, I still will hit it with a little bit of color, just because if you're taking photos or anything like that, the camera will pick up foundation differently. Now for around my pores, so right around my cheek area, I'm gonna change my brush stroke. So you can see that before, when I was sweeping it on, I was utilizing this part of the brush. Now when I'm gonna swirl it into the pore area, I'm gonna use the top part of the bristles. So I'm gonna pick it up like this, and then I'm gonna swirl it. That will allow the product to kind of buff in and around the pore 360. Now let's say I want a little bit more full coverage. So I'm gonna take a little bit more product on the bristle, and instead of sweeping or swirling, I'm gonna pat it. So I'm just gonna pat back and forth. That allows the product to build up without it looking too cakey. Because we're blending the foundation in different ways to get different coverages throughout the face, you're gonna get more of a natural foundation finish as opposed to slacking it on and putting it everywhere. Then with whatever's left on my brush, I'll go ahead and take it on top of my brow. I don't really wanna build up too much product around here, because if I'm doing eyeshadow or applying an eyeshadow primer or anything like that, I don't really want the products to kind of collide. And I try to not apply too much product, especially around the brow area. That's where you can get a lot of buildup. Usually when we exfoliate our face or wash our face, we're not really too careful around the brow area. So sometimes you can get some dead skin in there and it doesn't really hold makeup that well. All right, now that I'm looking a little bit more like Casper the Ghost, I'm gonna put the rest of my makeup on and I will be right back. Alrighty guys, that is it for me for this week. Let me know in the comments below if you use a flat foundation brush, or if maybe you're gonna try one now. For more tips and tricks, definitely check out Facebook and Instagram at MakeupByShannonMarie. And I'll catch you guys next week for another video. Bye guys. I almost lost my iPhone. It would have fallen to the ground. Foundation and... Hi, computer.